Welcome to Realeather.com. In this video, we're going to be making the backpacker's knife sheath. Don't let the title fool you. You can use the knife sheath to hold all kinds of tools that you need to keep on your bag or on your pants. And we're going to show you how to assemble it today. So let's get started. First, let's see what comes in the package. You will get the instructions, which are on the back, which always will identify the parts at the top so you know the names and the instructions are listed up there. You will get the snap flap. You're going to get the back piece, which also has snaps on it. You are going to get the sheath, and you will get the base. All of these are veg-tan leather, meaning you can dye them, you can stamp them, you can emboss them. They are very nice in how you can treat them, or you can just leave it all natural just the way it's shown. The other really nice thing about this is the snaps are already installed in the project, so you don't need any extra tools or have to fight with getting those in position and in place. So that's a nice feature. And then we have our waxed thread and our tapestry needle or leather sewing needle so that we are ready to sew our pieces together. I've opted to go ahead and embellish the leather pieces for this project. So let's put these ones aside along with our instructions. We're going to need those. So we're going to hang on to that. And what I did is I embossed the two pieces you're going to see, and then I did a dye on each one. This is a light one that kept it fairly natural, and this is a little bit darker. I also went ahead and dyed the snap pieces to match the front. And then this is what it's going to look like when we're all done. Okay, and you can just unsnap it here, slide this onto your bag strap or onto your belt, snap it closed, and you're ready to go. So now that you know what we're making, let's get started. So again, we have four pieces here. We have the snap flap, we have the back, we have the base, we have the sheath. We're going to put the sheath and the snap flap aside, and we're going to put these two pieces wrong sides together just like that, and we're going to start sewing these. So first things first is I'm going to cut this open and get my thread out. Now, another couple tools that you might need other than scissors for this project is if you have your hands aren't super strong, you can always use pliers to help pull the needle through, or if the holes are a little bit tight, in which with this going through on all the layers, you can use an awl and actually just go through the holes and make them a smidge bigger so that the needle will slide right through. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make these a smidge bigger, because when I was making this guy, my hands were a little bit too weak to get the needle through. So I'm going to make my life easier, and I'm going to do this. You can choose to do it either way. So I will be back once I enlarge all the holes a little bit with this awl. All right, now that I've enlarged my holes a little bit, which could have shrunk just from getting the leather wet when I embossed it or when I dyed it, but now I have a little bit bigger holes to work with, and my hands will thank me for it. All right, so the next step is we're going to undo our wax thread. Move these out of our way, and I'm going to thread my needle. And we're going to assemble this. So the stitch we're going to use is the saddle stitch, which is you do a running stitch all the way around, and then you come back over what you just stitched and go in the opposite holes, and it will create a finished saddle stitch, which looks like this. So that will become clear in just 1 second here. So now that I've got this threaded, we're going to put the excess to the side here, so I hopefully won't get it caught on everything. We are going to center the back piece onto the base. And again, I have them wrong sides together. And we're going to start over here on the left in the center here, come up through that hole just through the back side. We're going to pull the thread through and leave ourselves a tail that we're going to use to tie off when we're all done. Now that I've got the thread started in that one hole through just the back piece, we're going to align our holes, and we're going to go in and out all the way around to this corner here where we run out of two pieces to stitch. Now you can hold these together with your hand. You can use a little clip like this to hold your pieces together. It's really up to you. We're going to go from the front to the back to the front, And what this will do is it'll create a running stitch with a space in between each stitch. And then we're going to come back around and fill in those spaces. So let's get around to the corner. It's always handy when you're doing this to make sure there's not a bunch of stuff around you that this thread can catch on, because that gets really annoying after the first 10 times it catches on something. So there we go. We're just going to come here now. We are to the end of the 2 pieces. We're going to come back up through here, and we're going to need to now combine the remaining 2 pieces on here. So this guy will get slid in here like this to complete our back panel. Okay, and that aligns your 2 snaps up. And then on this side, so actually let me just do it this way, make it easier for me and you to see. We're going to align this in place, and we're going to use the clip and hold it in place. And I'm going to flip the whole thing over, and this is the sheath that goes on the front, and it's going to get bowed up like this. So we need to align these holes with this back piece and the middle piece. So now we're going to go through 3 layers of leather, and that's where this little clip comes in handy. You can also use a scrap piece of thread and put it through all 3 pieces and tie a knot. It'll hold it together on one end. But if you have access to a binder clip, paper clip, something that won't mar the leather, so maybe not a binder clip, but these little soft clips, we use those for sewing. And if you do use something else, you could put a piece of fabric between the clip and the leather so it doesn't mar it. It's just good practice. All right, now that we've got all our holes lined up, we're going to come through here, pull it tight, and just keep going now through all of our holes. And you'll see just how much easier it is for me to get that needle through, because I've made the holes a little bit bigger with an awl. Sometimes it's just something that, you know, make it easier to stitch. And so I am going to go all the way around. I'm just going to show you what this looks like here. So you can see the running stitch here. This is my tail for tying off. And then when I get around to the end of these 3 pieces, we're going to jump, we'll go right back into stitching this piece in place and come all the way back around to the start. So now that I've stitched across those 3 layers, I can now go back through the very first piece that we started with, which is the back piece, and go through just the base. And I'm going to stitch around till I get to this side, and then we're going to show you the next step. All right, now that I've gone around the 2 layers, it's time to incorporate the 3rd layer back in. And we can do this by squeezing this up and forming it. And honestly, the first hole is going to be the hard one. So just go through the first one, bend the leather, and go into the base and into the back. Pull that first stitch through, and it will now start to help you hold this in place. Now, you can pinch it. I find if you pinch it like this with your non-dominant hand and then go through the holes, that once you get a few in place, it's really going to just hold its shape. But you want to make sure that you are pulling the stitches snug, because right now the leather is kind of working against you. And make sure you're lined up in your holes and you don't miss a hole, because that can happen. All right, now we got 2 stitches in. I think it's going to be a 3 stitch to hold it. As you can see, it's just going much, much easier. Because it's starting to take its shape without me holding it, making the stitching a lot easier. All right, we have now done the running stitch all the way around. It's time to do the second half of the saddle stitch to finish our knife sheath. So you'll see here there's spaces between each stitch. We stitched up to this point. I'm now going to reverse. Now I'm going to stitch backwards, going in the opposite direction I was just stitching, until I get back to this point and we can tie it off. So to do that, you'll see here the thread is right where it's supposed to be, because there's a gap, and we're going to come through here. Now you want to be really careful to not split the stitch thread that's already there, just as I do it. Just just to show you. And we're going to push that through. If you can always go next to the thread and not split it, your stitching will look much neater and nicer. So we got that. And then we come back down and you're going to see that very first stitch. And now you see why we also made the holes bigger. Oh, my threads are caught. Make sure you don't get your threads all tangled. There you go. You can now see it filled in that gap. So we're going to do that all the way around. Once again, I'll fast forward over that so you don't have to watch it. And then I'll show you how to tie it off at the end. All right, I am down to the end. I have one more gap stitch there, and you'll notice on the back it is completely finished. So what we need to do is we need to separate the layers and just go through the base piece and come up in between the two pieces. Now, this is sewn together nice and snug, so it's going to be a little bit of a wiggle stab to get it through, but we got it through, and you'll see it's just going through, and it's coming out right where my other tail is. The other tail is always a great sign that you are at the end. So now we're going to go ahead and cut this, and we're going to do a square knot to end this. And if you haven't done a square knot, it's going left over right, tuck in, pull tight, and then it's right over left, tuck in, and pull tight. And you want to make sure that knot is down in between those layers. Another time to use your little awl, push it down in there. You can also use the tip of your scissors, just be careful. And we're going to trim the tails even with the piece of leather and also push those down in between. There it is, 1, 2, and there we go. We have all our lovely pieces here. We have stitched this guy together, and you can go ahead and slide your knife with the clip in place to hold it. It's also would hold scissors. If you ever, like I'm in a sewing room, this would be much handier for me to hold my scissors. But you could also, if you had a bunch of marking pens, my dad was a carpenter, always had his pens, you could put several of these in here as well and have them on your belt. You could use this for lots of things, not just a knife. So make sure that you try out all the different things you can put on it. And then this is how you just unsnap the back, slide in your strap or your belt, snap it closed, and it's secure on your thing. And I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, if you love the way this embossed leather looks, you could hop on over to YouTube to Realeather and check out our tutorial on how to emboss leather. It is a fun and easy way, and you just have a very sophisticated looking piece of leather when you just roll it through an embossing machine. There are some tips on how to do that, and it gives your leather just an upscale look. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. As always, you can leave us a comment below. Is there a product or kit from Realeather that you're interested in seeing a video done on? Let us know and we'll get that out there for you. And check out Realeather.com for all the tools, leathers, dyes, and kits. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.